What's going on, everybody? How are we doing tonight? Mark, Smokey, Earth 420. What's up, Kylie? How we doing? Looks like gold had that really strong bounce. I wish I was here before I saw that happen. These pullbacks with a new week, a double top on the 1 hour time frame for gold. Let's take this to a 4 hour for a quick second of our time. Yeah, look, buying occurring, but we got wickage both. I don't like that. What happened last time when we saw the wick to the top and to the bottom with this occurring? What is this? What happened last time? Does anyone know what happened last time? What's up, Yasin? How we doing, Yasin? I'm in gold buys. See, I'm looking at buys right now, but BSM music. I don't like this wickage on the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the volume. The volume's at that side. Let's wait for a retest in the 5 minute, guys. How we doing, Mark? Toasty says bears. But if you're new to the community, let's get a hello. How we doing? Let's get our biases in, people. What are we thinking for the week ahead? We got some earnings coming in. Can someone post in the earnings chat right here? And the news. I know, Toasty, you're fast at that. Let's get that posted when you got a chance. What's up, Slim Guy? Hey, 50-50, right, Norman? Gold's looking 50-50. All right, thank you, Toasty. What do we have for the week ahead? Building permits, housing starts, and FOMO on Wednesday. So nothing really for Monday, Tuesday. Big news on Wednesday and Friday. Existing homes. Everything is forecasted to be a lot lower. That doesn't help anything. But I feel like the news has been lying lately. I feel like they've been bullshit. There's so much fear on the news, but every time you see, the market's falling, it's falling. But where? It's ranging. It's not falling. The fear-mongering is crazy by the Democratic Party. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get people mad at me because I'm a political person. But that's all I'm going to say on that fact. But come on, guys. Let's get our biases. We got some people in here. What are we talking about? What are we thinking? Clearly, gold buys. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like this on the 4 hour. If I'm being completely honest, I don't like these wicks. Toasty says bullish range. Are we talking about the NASDAQ or gold? I'm sorry, Toasty. I'm bouncing off the place. You know, we always get initial pumps off supply. I guess this was our initial pump off supply to bring us back down, but that was hard selling. I'm ES these days. We've been anchored in a bullish range, which translates over to NQ. No, yeah, ES and NQ will definitely be kind of the same fucking shit. Yeah, we've been a bullish. If you saw what I posted on Instagram and YouTube, these ranges right here, you see this high point, how it's breaking other pivots, multiple pivots where prices it did reject. So in my eyes, are we going to create a new range above this supply? Dollar dancing around daily open. If that's, if the dollar's dancing, we know what that means. Let's take a look at the dollar. That's on my other screen. Would bullish, not bullish. Yeah, bullish fucking momentum. All we kind of need to is kind of reject at these levels. Let's place an entry. Well, I'm going to place an entry on gold. We're in on gold here. This entry might be early. I usually like different tests, but we did break above and had our first rejection off supply here. So let's see if this magnet zone can hold. That's why we're only in 2 lots. For people on smaller accounts, keep your risk. I always look at pivots for stops. So within, as long as this area here isn't broken, I really won't be scared. Once this area will be broken, this area will be my next level, and then we can have stops within this area. But that's also by our area of lower demand. So we got to keep that. Did I keep calling it supply? Or lower demand. So buy dailies. We like dailies. But knowing, guys, we have news. There's really no news on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, a lot of news. So expect biases to be wrong. Expect to get stopped out. Expect the volatility to be the same as last week. Things won't be cleared up until March, until we can get some sort of decision on interest rates and more fucking decisions on tariffs and policies. For right now, I mean, Trump's just a madman. Tariff here, tariff there. You get a tariff. Look at the auto industry. He's about to tariff that shit too. Open your eyes, people. Open your eyes. Trade the news. Don't listen to the fear. Stay smart, and let's see what we can do. Our technical side. What are the technicals for the week, guys? What are our levels? While we're here, we'll pull up gold and do gold first because we're already in a gold trade. Let's bunch up our charts. Let's get our line tool out. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy, people. I'll bring it down here because that's the point. We'll bring it here. We could bring it. And this right here, here. On the areas where I see multiple price touch points. Bring us down to a 1 hour. Now we have our ranges and our levels of supply and our demand. Oh, I don't gonna need that. What the hell, man? Oh, that's why. Now we got our levels marked out, and we kind of see the ranging within the hour zone. You kind of see how we have our levels. Now, this is why I love key level trading too, because not only do I have my levels that I can see with the pivots on a 4-hour time frame, because that's the only thing I give a fuck about. I don't care about nothing else. All I care about these V's, right, guys? These V's. That's the only thing I give a fuck about at the 4-hour and 1 hour. If you can get a change on direction at these blue lines on a 4-hour or 1 hour and hold, kudos to you. The same system works if you get here. If you look on the 5-minute time frame, because the lowest frame I'll ever use is a 5-minute. You'll still see the same kind of story. We're ranging on a smaller time frame. If you want to be a scalper, stay on the 5-minute with the same system, charting out the 1 hour. Bada boom, you can do whatever you want. But you kind of see how it almost overlaps all of our key levels. If we were to do all of our charting without any of this key level on, it's key levels. I mean, you can call it whatever the hell you want, but the simplicity is all I need. And we wait for price to break ranges. That's it. On the 5-minute side, knowing me and my system, and if you've been here with me, what would I look to target? What is my target for this gold? What would be my TP1, my TP2? Based on my entry parameters, you guys should already know. What's up, Vile? How you doing today? We didn't cook yet. We didn't cook yet. Even though the trade's in profit, we need to break out of this range. Now, last week, guys, what was our motto? It was Scalp City. Take profits, see profits, take it. Let's get the feel for this week. Hopefully, we can get some more profits and longer trades in. I would like so. We got a lot of earnings that I think might hold us above. But gold, me trading long golds won't really coincide with what I'm thinking with the NASDAQ. Because if the NASDAQ is going to continue up, we're going to have pullbacks, especially at upper supplies and key levels. Expect pullbacks. But the overall flow, is what Toasty said. I mean, we are in a bullish kind of fucking momentum with the NASDAQ. But see, look, that's why I just said we're not in the good yet with our trade. We need to break certain levels. But where would I look to target? Oh, thank you, Toad. No, that's not. That's 6,000. That's something different. Hold on if it breaks this PBR. What's PBR mean? I'm a little slow, Mark. So I'm a little slow. So bear with me. Oh my God, YouTube. I did it again. I'm not even sharing my screen on YouTube. That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. Of course you can see my screen, YouTube. That's so funny. George Ramsey. The next structure, the next key level. Those were anywhere I'm looking to take exits and entries. Yo, Mark, did you just say you know when you didn't tell me? Wow. Great community we got here. But yeah, guys. So it's time for questions before I keep going on with my spiels. I guess we'll mark out NQ while I wait for everybody. We'll still hold gold. I'm not really scared. So what do, people? We bunch our chart up. And let's mark out these levels for everybody. High point. I won't count that one because we have 1, 2. From here. It doesn't got to be so perfect. There's so many different pots to look at. Bounces you do from here. All right, now let's get down to our 1 hour. And let's turn on our key level indicator, right? That's all we got to do. Oh, it's already on. And there we go. Now we see. Now we got to see which of our blue lines will overlap. Which one of our blue lines is going to overlap our key levels, and whatever way the trend is going, we're going to take our entry. So now we have both of our levels marked out for the week. Why is this not showing up here? That's annoying. Whatever. But that's how I kind of mark out. That's the only thing I ever do. That's the only technical side of trading you'll ever see me do. And I'm either going to be right or I'll be wrong. And I have the emotional fucking ability to manage myself without these trades. So here goes gold rejecting again on a 5-minute time frame with these little maneuvers. As long as we're above that weekly area, we should be fine. Again, pivots and key levels are the only things I'm looking at for my stops. You can use here. You can use wicks or bars. I don't really get so crazy with that because at the end of the day, it's whatever I can manage on the emotional side. Because let's say if price comes down to here and it's only in a drawdown of $400, but how am I doing on that day? Am I emotional because I might get a little anxious and sell and it might go in my favor. Or the fear came in and I sold and it saved me. How do we manage this in trading? It's very hard. At least 3 touches. I'm not Tory. I'm not Tory trend lines. At least 3 touches, George Ramsey. No disrespect, but it's the same shit. It's the same concept. You know, I don't want to sit there and talk bad. It's the same concept. I'm not looking at trends. I'm looking at horizontal lines, trend lines, and I'm going to be looking at the ranges, moving with the movement and the noise of news and the momentum of human sentiment. That's the only thing we could ever really do. Where's my action line? Oh, I was about to say, whoa. Okay, every time I ever see one of her videos, okay, we have our 3 touch points. It's like, can you think of anything else to say? She's a good trader. Let me not talk shit. She's a good trader. Before she comes and sees my YouTube and starts talking shit about me, she goes, "Oh, Socrates and his goddamn key levels." It's all the same shit. Everyone's strategy, we all call it something different, but it's all the same thing. Key levels, hunting liquidity, hunting order blocks, looking for FEGs. I mean, some people just look at different things to take their entry. You know what I'm saying? But we all enter pretty much off the same parameters, just calling it something different. So here's that second now rejection. Price is pushing down. Let's take a look at volume. Strong sell side now. And 100% on the... That's a 5 minute. What the hell? Why is no one telling me? No one's telling me that. What the hell? Still to the upside. What's the DMX? The ADX is growing. That doesn't be good. If this goes short, it's because what did we say on the 4-hour timeline? We should have went short. That a video, guys, from last week, it is recorded from that when we took that entry here. Let's bring it up on the 4-hour. What I said when price was probably going to be bearish. And I went long. Yeah, look, that candle, this previous one, maybe it's now red. Price is nearing stops, though. We're about to be stopped out at this pivot area right here. I know we get multiple bounces at demand. So if it breaks demand here, then my bias might be changed. Let's take a look at the dollar. I'm not looking at the dollar. I got YouTube up on my other screen. Yeah, the dollar's still stacked around at that area. But just so aware, guys, at these areas right here are my stops between this bar and wick. If we break these and this level, I'll have a lot more fear. For now, I won't really have as much fear because we're still within a pivotal area and we're still within demand. It's just the entry. That's what it is. When we're trading key levels, our supply and demand, our support and resistance, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's that entry point it's what it's going to make you or break you. There's some days we got trades where we enter at a key level and 0 drawdown, instantly profitable. We can sell within seconds. But then some days this will happen. Now, again, it's Sunday. I don't really have a feel of the market flow. So we got to kind of get a feel and grasp. Again, with FOMO, I'm expecting all my fucking thoughts and biases not to really play out. But it's okay. We can keep risk on the tighter side and kind of get a flow, not let the emotional side get into play in what we're doing. But what's up, George Ramsey? Liquidity areas is one of my confirmations for entries. Well, let me ask you, George, what is an area of liquidity? because it's a key level. Liquidity is supply. Liquidity is demand. Liquidity is an area where price has come to multiple times. Correct? Right, guys? What is liquidity? Let's hear these answers, people. Price, because I'm going to say price does not move. Well, Mark. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed, Mark. He said orders. I know you're fucking with me. You got to be fucking with me. He's fucking with me. Liquidity is 3 touch points. Vili, it's a funny night with you. Oh, FVG. Yo, Boomer. This guy wants to get banned. Ban him immediately. Immediately. I'm joking, guys. This right, Slim Guy? I'm fucking disappointed. Well, I'm disappointed in these guys. It's because I'm in a losing trade, right? That's so they gotta do me dirty, Slim Guy, right? Where traders put their stop losses. Now this guy's trying to sound like that fancy England guy, right, Yasin? We don't gotta make so smart. Liquidity, I feel like it's just a fancy term. But you're right, George Ramsey. It's just another area, another key area. That's what it is. Another key area. Liquidity, where price has come multiple times. A magnetic area where price likes to stay. History does repeat itself. And we as humans make habits. And the market knows this. If profitable or unprofitable, we live and move in habits. And this is why we become so predictable as people and as traders, and how the market makers and institutions and banks know us because we're so predictable. Every retail trader and consumer society is where we are emotional bound. And it's just, how can you break out of this where they already know your next move because they know you better than you know your damn self? This is why trading takes one hell of a mind, because you have to sit here in your own office with no one else, with just your own thoughts, and be able to sit with your own thoughts and agree with your own thoughts with not having any outside source tell you, yes, your thought and your thinking is right, or no, you're not right. There's no one here to hold us accountable through anything that we do. It's the only reason why trading is hard. The technicals and understanding price action and all this stuff, these big terms, it's not hard. Just like anything you get into, the first couple months, it's going to be like, what the fuck am I looking at? But after repetition and learning, it becomes second nature. Now, the emotional side of trading, no one can teach you that, but time in the market. I mean, people say that, oh, you can't sit there in the screen. The only way I learned how to trade is I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm sitting here looking for fucking something, until one day I had my own system. That was years of me doing that, but there's a lot of misconception on what's right and what's wrong. In trading, it's a mirror of life. There is no right or wrong. It's, did you make money or did you lose money? And I feel that beginner traders focus and hype too much on being right, or outsmarting whatever they're trying to see, or come up with some mathematical equation that's not even happening. Simplicity is going to be your Lord and Savior in trading, because when you try to outsmart the market or try to play a game of chess with the market, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. The market's here to make you the liquidity. It's supposed to get you so right now in our trade, as a beginner trader, I was just down $700. There was a time in my journey where if that happened, I would have fucking took my screen and threw it. Oh, FYI, that video I posted on Instagram, that screen wasn't even plugged in. Just so that was all acting. That screen, we don't do that no more. We're on to bigger and better things. That was an old screen. But trading can be hard if you make it hard, or trading can be easy if you make it easy. With this being said, trading is hard. It's not easy. And the only reason it's hard is because you can't sit with yourself, agree with yourself, and listen to myself. I'll sit here quiet until someone can tell me I'm wrong. But back to what I was saying with this. I was down $700. The old me would have, I would have closed it, and I'll look at the price. Now look at price. I would have been pissed. a big reason why I personally don't trade with stop losses. People don't ask, this is why what you're seeing on the screen is, even though the trade might still not play out, we were up 250 in this trade at a point. Now, people say, is this greed? Or I'm going to ask you a question right now. If you saw $100 on the floor right now, are you going to pick it up? Or are you going to leave it there? I'll wait. No, I'm from Greece. The big long Socrates. That's my real name. But if you see, all right, you're going to pick it up. So why won't we do that in trading? When we see $100 profit, why do we get upset when it's not more? Isn't this crazy? Trading is the only profession where you could be up $100, $200 within 5 minutes of your time. But did I take profit when I was just up $200? I didn't. The only reason I didn't, because I want to make more. That's the only reason I did not take profits when I was up $200. Now, this is speculation because people might say, oh, you're just gambling, getting in and out of trades. Others people's thoughts is what stops. No, JB, it's not a gambler's mindset because you're making money, right? There's no wrong or right. If you can come in here and you know that, okay, I'm going to take the money I see every time, we're still upset. That's crazy. You can leave the day profitable with a high win rate and still be upset. And as soon as you change your mindset from being upset to, wow, I did this, you can increase your risk because you believe in yourself. And that's what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. There's no wrong or right. You're just going to let someone else's voice tell you you only scalped for $100. You're an idiot. I sat here and made 5,000. They might be on chapter 30 of their journey. If you, as I just said, would you take $100 on the floor if you saw it? I would. I wouldn't leave it. I'm at chapter 20. So I'm comfortable holding profits. As I just said, the only reason I did not sell when I was up $200 is because I want to make more. But not only that, I'm in the stage of my journey where I have targets, right? We should always have some sort of goal. Don't ever go into trades blind. I am looking for key levels. Now, again, I want to break here and just touch this and take profits, and I'll be out. That's considered a scalp for me. For a scalp for other people, again, as soon as you see profit, they take it. You never go broke taking profit. The only reason you'll be upset is because you want more. That's the only reason you'll be upset is because you saw a video on Instagram or YouTube of somebody making $5. That's not the reality. Once you get to a higher level of frequency, then yes, maybe you might get to those big trades. But let's go in and ask our lifetime members of a realistic week for me. I might come in Monday. I might make $2,000, right? Tuesday, the market will bend me over. I might leave the day $1,400 loss. Wednesday, I'll come back. I'll make $20,000. Thursday, I might have only made $500. What you see is not always the reality. When I'm having my losing trades, I'm not always recording. I trade a lot live so people see what I'm doing, but what you see, you never see people's failures on the social media side of what's going on. And through that is what's going to make you who you are. You can't quit. Through the hard times is what's going to build you. Now, the technical side, does anyone have any sides that cater towards the technical side of my strategy or what? Because it's really not catered towards any sort of technicals. But I'll leave the floor open for some more questions if anybody has. Bosnia over here, man. Thank you, the fucking big long. Let's go. Opa, Kalimari, Tikanis, man. Fucking the Balkans are pretty close to us. ES Martin is on chapter 2. Now here again, guys, we have a third fucking rejection on our lower demand on gold. The price is 741. Who here knows my sweet time zone or time frame for gold if I'm trading during this session? Who here knows my sweet spot and what time I really wait for any action on gold? If you've been here for a couple months, you should know that. Look, I know Toasty's typing. There we go. 9:30. More, yup, around that time. 9:15 to 9:45. You can get some sweet moves with gold at that time. But yeah, DeFam, some guy, you guys know it. My family, there we go. The community is learning. But there we go, E.S. Martin. He's on chapter 2, his second year. What are you finding is to be your hardest part of what you're doing, and what's the easiest part? I know. I don't. Fuck ICT. This guy asked. Nope. I don't do ICT over here. That guy's too complicated for no reason. I'm not saying he's a bad trader, but FEGs don't work for me. Sometimes I might trade FEGs. I just don't call it FEGs. But no, I'm not an ICT-based trader at all. I use common sense. I'm a common sense-based trader. And yeah, strictly off intuition patterns. No hate, brother. ICT is not a bad trader. I mean, all of his information is solid. It's just overextended information for no reason at all. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. His concepts are good, but he's a horrible trader. I mean, I never actually seen him trade or anything. We do SMC, smart money concepts. I don't know, man. I do the Socratic money concepts over here. Right, Boomer. That was good. That was a nice save. I like that. I like that. But come on, gold. Give me some nice action. If NQ starts buying here, then there's no point in holding this gold trade. I'm just going to say that up front. I don't like when they move in correlation or in tandem. And the dollar is still, it's generating some buyings and a double touch point on the bottom. It looks like a triple, if I'm being honest. A triple point on a 5-minute time frame on the bottom. I don't like that. Golden NQ move. Well, it's not always, but I like to make my decisions in trading when gold and NASDAQ aren't moving, aligned. You know what I'm saying? There's this, usually they won't move in tandem. When they move in tandem, my biases tend to get destroyed. All my thoughts and whatever I'm seeing sometimes just gets fucked. But I just like the DXY and gold. Yep. I use the dollar strictly with my gold trading. I use the VIX strictly with my NASDAQ trading. But ultimately, they all correlate with each other. And again, we're still rejecting on a 5-minute frame. I don't like this wickage on this 4-hour. To be honest, it's making me think shorts. With this wick and that wick. We have the video fucking recorded, guys. So you use the dollar for NQ. Which makes sense. Because all right, well, let me ask you why, Slim Guy. Let's put his knowledge to the test. If the dollar is moving up, what might be happening in America that would be pushing the dollar to go up? Even though gold's getting fucked right now. Again, for people that might be hopping on, my stops are at these levels, between these levels. Pelosi. Fuck Pelosi. Trump talking. More specifically, guys, let's try to get more on the educated side. If the dollar's pumping, why is the dollar pumping? The US dollar. Why would that be? Why? Inflated. The US dollar pumping because of inflation. Less fear. These are simple answers. There's no right or wrong. You know, everyone, we all have our opinions. News, but more important, the news, yes, but what makes money? Does anyone know what makes money? How is money made? How is money made? Does anyone know how money's made? Not how they actually fucking print it, but how does one go out and hustle and make money? Jobs. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, V. Now jobs. Now, when we have jobs, people get paid, right? Our services are bought. Supply and demand on the most that's funny, John. I mean, that's the most simplest answer. I like that. Supply and demand. But come on, guys, let's use our brain. Let's use our brain. More jobs, more people, more spending. Is Nvidia and all these big tech stocks being bought up and being sold out, creating more revenue for the US markets? Is Trump trying to place tariffs on imports, exports, this, that, and the other to create a stronger dollar? Things like this it's common sense. Now, on the economic side, with the Nasdaq and your Dow and the S&P, why would that move in junction with the US dollar? It's not rocket science. It's common sense, actually. But let's see. Come on. Who here knows? I mean, John already said it, basically, in the most simplest terms. Life, supply and demand, but let's get more on a technical side. Let's think a little more. Everyone's silent. Wow, I got no answers. Let me get one person to try. Yo, Mark, hit me with some knowledge. Hit me with some knowledge. Yeah, if you want to speak, Slim Guy, just raise your hand. You know, Slim Guy loves it. Gold's still rejecting. And the volume to the downside's staying to the lower point. I don't like that. Oh, he's in a trade. Oh, man, in a trade, so we can't speak. Excuses. We need to know why the dollar will move and why people look at the dollar when they're making decisions. If those companies are selling off, the dollar is making money. Well, if the companies are selling off, they probably need money, are having problems with money, are trying to earn some sort of money. If the companies are selling. Now, what are the companies selling? They're selling shares of the company or just selling? You know what I'm saying? Pretty broad question. NQ goes down, dollar goes up. Okay. But why? We need to know why. That's what we're trying to get at, people. I want to see if people know why. Well, other currencies against the dollar, that's something you could also look at. It's definitely something you could go at. If the GBP goes down, USD is up. I like that. There you go, because it's being sold. But what is being sold? Right, guys? It's these little things. It seems so tedious, but knowing all these little ins and outs is really what helps us with our trading decisions. Interest rates play a role. Well, if there's let's just look at interest rates like this. When you go get a car, I mean, you don't want a high interest rate, right? Or when you get a loan or something, you don't want high interest rates. High interest rates, they don't help you, right? Some good topics today, people. People on YouTube, we have ES Marin. He uses the dollar and the Australian. The big long, people selling equities, etc. Circulation from George, yeah. So I'll sit back for a little bit, wait for some questions. It's almost time to close this goal. I don't really like holding losing trades for so long. I mean, it's still staying within that, and it's before my timeline, but no one likes holding on losing trades forever. But what's up, guys? Let's bring up another topic, another question. What do we want to talk about today? Quiet day, I guess. NQ longs look solid. Yeah, I'm going to be waiting for Monday and Tuesday for enter longs on there. I know they're probably going to fake a lot of people. Failing to break down, though, at this upper supply is great for that long bias. I mean, I'm still long. If you saw my video, I'm long on here, but I want to enter at a pullback. I don't want to enter at supply. I really would, it might still, if it pumps, then I miss an entry, and that's okay. And gold, we're not getting any sort of momentum flips. How much? We still got 2. Let's bring it to an hour candle before I make my decision. Six minutes left there, so we'll wait for the decision. We got 6 minutes in the hour. Also, when central banks and big companies demand more dollar, of course it will pump. Yeah, Slim Guy. That's why I'm waiting for retracements. Gold is at a nice major pivot. Breaking this, I mean, look what happened when we originally first broke it. Price chased it at that Monday high. So I'm looking to see if we can have one more bounce before a continuation in whatever trend it's in. But I'll probably most likely be out of the trade before that already happens. His price action, though, is wimpy. We're not really getting no sort of movements, which is expected, guys. As we said at the beginning of the stream, the amount of news we have coming up, having Monday and Tuesday be blank days, it'll be very tricky. But realistically, as long as we're within my pivots, I won't really be sell or have fear. I'm telling you, the next pump will be around astrology controls the markets. Astrology. That's the first time I heard something like that. What makes you say that? Astrology influences the market. When you say astrology, what do you mean by that? So that's what someone on YouTube says. Join the Discord. The big long, my members are saying they love you because you said that. But I would love to pick your brain a little bit. What do you mean by when you say fucking astrology? John, I marked out all my levels live. Were you here when I did that? And if you missed it, it's on my YouTube. I have my charting video up on YouTube. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm about to end my stream. I don't want to sit here and go over it again. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm being honest, man. I'm an honest trader. I wait for pivots. But the whole video is on my YouTube. It's all on my it's all on my YouTube. Supply and demand levels, key levels, it's all called the same shit. It's all called the same. Oh, you're right. I'm using all my charting is on the 4 hour. I like to use the 1 hour and 5 minute for my entries, but all my charting for my levels will be on the 4 hour. The daily, if you want to, as well, for your open and close levels. And then your session open and close levels. But all I care about is major pivot areas on a 4 hour time frame. And price is not giving me no signs of any flip. We're still within that. I know price might want to flip, so that's why I don't want it to stop me the fuck out before we get that change. Bro, we've been in war, DeFam. We've been in war. You know, when we're at war, they never tell you we're in war. Like in the history books during war, when we were at war before, they never told them. Like the World War II and World War III, when things were happening, how they described it, they didn't tell the people they were at war during those times. So in 2040, 2050, in the textbooks, they're going to say, oh, during the war of COVID, the war of 2025 and 2030, World War III or World War IV. You know what I'm saying? That's what we'll read about later on when we're fucking older. W. Gann, best trader ever recorded. Highest win rate, used astrology. I got to look into that. I never heard of him. I got to look into that. Astrology to make trading decisions. That's crazy. That just goes to show you that trading is not real. It's not even real. People out here using fucking astrology to win trades just goes to show you that you're sitting here using FVGs. You're a fucking clown. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I gotta say to that. I'm sorry. I'm not talking bad. I mean, I really am interested in WD Gann. I gotta check that out. Strictly I just don't understand. I don't understand how you would use astrology to make trading decisions. It's the correlation of human sentiment and previous market movements. When you say, are you talking like Capricorn, Aries, like, you know what I'm saying? Correlation between human sentiment. Human sentiment isn't like moon phase. Like, what? Life's not real. I'm sorry. Moon phases. I don't believe in none of that shit. I'm sorry. I believe I'm a god. I'm sorry. I believe you're a god. Everyone watching, you're a god. And you've been dumbed down by society. But I believe we're all very powerful light beings. And people might call it, it's okay to say I'm crazy or an atheist, but I call you crazy because you listen. You can't even listen to your own mind. You need other people to tell you you're right or wrong. I can listen to myself. And society wants to call me crazy, I'll be crazy. 8 o'clock volume to the downside. Why? We're at my stops now. At these Wix levels. It's our second time at these zones. My hand will stay fucking steady. But I'm just someone who thinks there's nothing that anyone... We're a whole bunch of people living in life who none of us know anything. We know nothing. The smartest man knows that he knows nothing. And the more that he knows, the more he realizes he knows nothing. A very famous Socrates quote. I mean, realistically, the only thing we all know is man-made things. Other than that, we don't know shit. We're born with zero knowledge. We live coexistence with a bunch of people who know absolutely nothing. All right, stops are touched. Broken stops. Let's wait for a retest. If not, I'm going to take my sell, and I'll take the $800 loss for the night. Let's wait for that bounce. If no bounce, then I'm just shot. But yeah, once you get to this level where you're taking losing trades, you can't have the emotional side in it. As long as you're following what you tell yourself, You should be okay within your wins and your losses. I'll be upset if I don't follow what I have to say, like say to myself, because then that shows I'm not in control. There is 1,000 ways to take a trade, but there is not, because the only way you enter a trade is by clicking a button. That's the only way. Do you know who taught Socrates? there's many falsalities to this. I mean, I went to Greece and I spoke to a lot of people about this. Socrates is original. He is original, but he has a lot of other theories and thoughts from it's you don't get me down this rabbit hole, Toasty. Don't get me. There's a story where he was tripping shrooms too. And I'll just say that too, that he took a very high dose of shrooms. Oh no, I've heard the story about a woman. He was it's he was in a relation. I'll talk to you later, but you're very enlightened. Wow. Yeah, it's there's one story about him and this woman where she was very like he thought like I guess in today's fucking society she would have been fucking considered highly autistic. And she would go to Socrates and ask him the most redundant questions. But as a philosopher, if you're asking these questions, I'm going to think you're a genius. And during those, like, wow. I don't advise shrooms, but shrooms changed my life. So I used to be a very depressed person, but I feel like I don't advise drugs. Look, someone just left the server because I said that. Fuck them, they're whack. But I don't advise it. But it changed my life. That's all I'll say. You can listen to what school and society tells you, or listen to what people that are doing change in life tell you. I'm nuts. Don't listen to nothing I say. I'm just fucking crazy. Went back into NQ longs. Looks like Mark's chasing back losing trades. But how we doing tonight, guys? It's a boring night. No one's really giving me some entertainment. I've never tried Deem. I would really love to try it. I don't advise doing drugs though. I don't do drugs. You know what I'm saying? But oh look, Jesus Christ is in the YouTube chat listening to me talk about shrooms. He's not approved. He does not approve. Only for educational purposes, right, the fam? I feel that. Educational purposes only. I mean, that's serious though. If I'm going to be, people always ask me what it was in the moment where my life changed. It's my first ever trip on shrooms. I fought any sort of depression I ever had. I swear to God. If two people see the same thing, it's real. My whole theory on life is nuts. Nothing in life is real. Everything we see is a fabrication of our mind. And you can control. They say this is manifestation, but I say it's purely you and your thoughts. I mean, your thoughts become your reality. And is that manifestation? I guess. It takes 17 seconds of you thinking about one thing for it to turn into a waterfall of effects. If you ever trip shrooms and when you go down the thinking where you just think and then think and then think and then think, that's what life is. It's another thought after another thought. And it's just a river of you making decisions based off of your thoughts. Now, it comes to show, are these our original thoughts or not? And this is where I went crazy. I really went crazy for a long time, people. Where are these thoughts I'm having my original thoughts? Because if we live in a society where trading requires me to be at one with myself, I was not profitable because I wasn't at one with myself. You see what I'm getting at, people? As soon as I was able to sit there and talk to myself and accept that this is not crazy, I am who I am. I'm powerful and I'm more powerful than you because I can do this. I don't give a fuck what you think. I found profitability. I didn't find profitability in fucking supply and demand in FEGs. I guess this is where my friend on YouTube talks about his astrology. You know, it's there's 1,000 different ways to enter a trade based off of our mind. But I'll give you an example. When you're tripping shrooms, I can sit right in this chair, but when I'm tripping, I'll be in 1,000 places, all within my mind. So what does that tell me? My mind and my thoughts can shape my reality to whatever I want. So if I'm going to sit here and think negative, like, oh, fuck, I lost a trade, I'm never going to be a profitable trader, it's too hard, I can't understand it. What do you think's going to happen the next day? You're already scared and you put fear into yourself because you spoke it into existence in repetition. Now, let's just say if you're having a bad day and you're looking at it and you speak to yourself differently, and there's actual science proof that if you talk to a plant positively, it grows better. So what the fuck does that tell you about life? It's not real. If I can sit there and think and then act on my thoughts, that's kind of psychotic. If you really think about it, it's psychotic in a beautiful way. You know, I always go into like to find answers. I never am gonna figure out like death and beyond, what's this and that. And it helped me with my trading journey because throughout all of this, I realized that I'm either in control of myself or I'm not. And if I'm not in control, who is? Really think about what I just said. If you're not in control, who's in control of you? And I swear to God, people, I went crazy with this thought for years in my trading journey because I knew what I had to do, but I didn't do it. On the days where I was up, like right now, I'm up $200. In my beginning stages, what did I do? I wanted $10,000 in that day. And I just kept repeating the same mistake over and over and over and over and over. That's insanity. And most of us go through this. So most of us are insane. And most of us will sit in that insanity. I figured, no, man, I must not be in control. I must really not be in control of anything. And that's when my life changed. I wanted to be in control because then again, if not you, then who? Now, again, what did we say at the beginning of the stream? If we see $100 on the floor, are we going to take it? I'm just going to close this trade here because it's almost ending my time of the live stream. It might still pump, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll keep it open until we close. But all I'm looking for is this line right here to help to take profits. I'm not looking for nothing other than that. But I guess before I head out, guys, I was on a roll for a second. Let's leave the floor for more questions. Yo, look, I should have taken profits. Wow. Isn't that funny? The market was like, yo, the market said, wait, what did you say? You're not taking profits? You just, yo, that was fucking hilarious. Yo, I took the 200. That's fucking stupid. No, because I looked at the time and I was like, it's only 8:10, so it's not even 9 o'clock. I was thinking it was 9 something. It's fucking hilarious. It's going to be a funky coast close tomorrow, says Toasty. But what's up? Let's leave this time for more questions before I go and enjoy the rest of my Sunday night. Welcome in, Life Speechy. We've been here for about an hour's time. It's recorded, so you'll be able to go over what we were speaking about. Oh, no, yeah, guys, I forgot about Monday, too, the President's Day. Well, you know us, Toasty. We'll still be DJs in the pre-market. Got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Right at the pre-market, baby. Again, go. I got to Google it before you leave. If someone asked, but what is love? Answer, dissolving the will. Wow. I like this guy, Fiber Nacho. If someone asks, but what is love? Answer, dissolving the will. Wow. That's deep. That's deep. I'm trying to think of what can that mean for me in a situation. I'm the big no way. Toasty, this is the guy on YouTube that. Oh, okay. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. I'm glad you joined in. We have a lot of fun here, dude. We have a lot of fun here. We're a pretty great community, guys. We all grow here. We win, we lose, but ultimately we learn every day. We learn every day. No, Toasty's not a bot. I would be pretty pissed, yo. If Toasty's a bot, I would be pissed. I would be pissed, Fiber. No, but I have their Snapchat, so I know she's not a bot. Mark's like, wait, I don't have her Snapchat. No, right, Toasty? Toasty's like, we'd keep her. We'd keep her. Mama Trader, where have you been? Everybody, this is Mama Trader. She gives out her levels every day, and we love her for it. Toasty grows like a bot? Nah. Oh, yeah, she does grow very nicely. But she's a very big aspect of our community here. Does Price want to touch our profit or not, man? 420. Oh, we'd keep her. We got the Greek mob, man. We got the Greek mob. But that wasn't really a question, dude. You just made me think about my life a little bit, Fiber. We got any questions? You always need a Vietnamese in the wild. I know, man. I know. She don't know why I got her. She's probably crazy. She'll probably fuck you up, the fam. All right, I'm just taking profits here because I don't want to look at my screen anymore, and I'm tired of holding this. It's been too long. I don't like holding trades for that long. You guys know me. I'm just going to close my screens on that fact because I can move whatever. We'll leave it open. But I'm done trading. I'll take $200 for tonight. It's easy peasy, but that was not easy peasy. That was fucking stressful fucking shit. I didn't like that fucking trade at all, guys. It shit pissed me off. Watch it pump at 9:15 when I'm no longer looking at the goddamn screens. For people that don't know, on TradeView, why I like it is so when I'm not looking at the screens, I'm a very busy guy. I got my babies and everything. I have price alerts. You can set price alerts. Hey, look, dude. Come here. Add a price. You can even add it to the key level alert, but it'll text you. Or you get like a ding when price hits a certain level. So you don't got to sit here and watch the fucking charts, which sometimes is like the bad thing to what we're doing. Yeah, let's still get a pump. I'm just buns. I'm pussy. I'm fucking pussy, Mark. I sold. I'm buns. That's the only explanation I got for that sell. Lifespan, he goes, trying to land your strat and change my mindset on trading. Was able to pass an eval after over a year. Well, congratulations on passing the eval. But that's only step one of this process. You know, once we get to that phase, most people find that that's the easiest part of the process is passing the evals, right, guys? Once you get into the evals, that's not the hard part. Is passing the evals becomes easy. The payout is what gets hard. Tell me I'm wrong, though, right? There's that once you get to that point where, all right, the evals, I pass them in 2-3 days, but as soon as I get the fucking live account, I fucking blow it every time. Why, people? Why do we make these mistakes? I'll tell you why. Because in your mind, you're probably thinking, I'm gonna tell you. Tell me if I'm wrong. All of you guys, I want everyone to answer. Your mind says this: yes, my account's now live. Before I want a $5,000 payout. I want a bigger buffer, right? That word alone. I want a bigger buffer. Instead of, I'm just going to follow the same thing I've been doing in my eval. You say, I want a bigger buffer. And right then alone, right there, account blown. Because your first trade, you might make $500. And in your eval, you might took 2 trades a day. So you might have done that. And in your second trade, you're instantly lost $500. Your emotions in that are going to be completely different. And the only reason you'll blow it is because you want more. That's the only reason you'll blow it is because you want more. And you want a bigger buffer to have a bigger first payout. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, wait. the emotional side comes in because now it's like, oh, fuck, I can actually get a payout. So you that extra fear and FOMO. But imagine if you came in here and were to accept the outcome and not worry about a trade by trade basis. Yeah, mama, you really did test that. Adopted and been trying to adopt lately. Adopt like as in like adopt children. That's because that's beautiful. I mean, I love that. That's beautiful. I coach minor leagues, little leagues for baseball, soccer, and football in the towns of poverty. So I mean, adoption. It's something me and my wife thought about, but never really gone through. It's a thought, but that's pretty cool. Rup, emotional takeover, right, George? Yeah, man. So right, you're down 1K. What would you do? I mean, most people want to make that loss back instantly. Take it slow, change the micros. There's no rush, man. Stop worrying about a trade by trade basis. The only thing you need to worry about is if you're following your system. With my key level system, it's I can have losing trades as long as I'm able to follow my stops or follow where I want to close it and let the winners run. How could I lose? I can't lose on a end of week basis or a monthly basis. I shouldn't lose. If I only allow myself to lose a certain amount a day, if I go beyond that, it's because I broke my rules. And then I deserve to lose. So I get taught a lesson, right, guys? But it is 8:18. It's about time for me to end the session, guys. I'll probably be live for a little bit pre-market because the market's going to be closed for us, right, at 9:30. So if you guys want to hang out with us in the Discord a little bit pre-market early, I'll be in my Discord doing what we're doing right now, hanging out, seeing what we can do. But again, guys, thank you all for listening in. What makes our live sessions is when we have a lot more questions to work with. So next time we are live, bring your questions and we can work. If you're just hopping in now, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm getting tired, but it's time to end. But all right, fam. Thank you, everyone on YouTube listening in. Let me get my screens closed. What's up, fam? Deuces, YouTubes.